I wanted to jump in real quick before the video starts to say that this is just a fun summary of our first 10 episodes. It's definitely different and it may not be your cup of tea, but it was something I wanted to try out. Many of the shots used in this video are a combination of previous recordings and recreated moments in my creative test world. And last but not least, if you can't tell, I am sick, so I apologize for my voice. But regardless, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you with our regular upload on Thursday. Our story begins here, in a small village built into the side of this snowy mountain. The village functioned as one would think. Each villager had a specific job to keep the village running, and that brings us to our protagonist, the builder. The builder constructed the village and would quickly fix anything that fell out of place. The village was protected by the guardians. Golems crafted by the town's blacksmiths to fight off the undead would venture into the village night after night. The plains below were said to be cursed by evil, and no villager was to venture there unless the sun was at the highest point in the sky. The villagers abided, until one night, the village was overwhelmed by undead, and the guardians fell. Only a small handful of villagers survived, one of which was the builder. The mountain had now become just as dangerous as the plains below, so he decided it was time to venture out and try to find the source of the evil in the landscape he looked over for most of his life. The builder found a spot not too far from his original home, but far enough to be considered new. He knew it wouldn't be long before the undead would rise again. He needed to make a shelter, a new place to call home, not constrained by the design choices of the village elders, a place of his own creation. Wood had proven too weak against the undead, so instead he turned to different stones to create a true barrier between him and the outside. He planted a tree and started a campfire in hopes to scare off the invading evil. But at the very least, he had a roof over his head and a new trusty steed to help him traverse the once forbidden plains. The builder survived his first night, and the next, and the next, but the builder was getting lonely. A few of his fellow villagers who survived stayed behind, too nervous to venture off the mountain. How could he convince them and others that this land was not something to fear, but something to embrace? A landmark. Something that could be seen from all surrounding mountains for anyone passing through the valley to let them know there is life here, there is opportunity. The builder constructed a clock tower atop one of the hills, an unmistakable sign that this new village was alive and well. But as the tower was completed, portals opened beneath it. Portals unlike anything the builder had seen before. He needed information on them, and he knew exactly where to turn. High atop a mountain in the distance stood a wizard's tower. From the village's perspective, this tower was long abandoned. But as the builder constructed the clock tower, he noticed movement. A man, standing atop the balcony, looking down from the mountain as the builder worked. When the portals opened in the clock tower, the builder knew only one man would know what they were. He took the long and arduous journey up the mountainside and through the perilous wind, and finally knocked on the wizard's door. To his surprise, the wizard welcomed him in and offered his services of magical enchantments. The builder questioned the wizard on the portals and learned of a long-forgotten realm of fire deemed the Nether. The wizard warned of the dangers of the Nether, but assured the builder he would ensure the portals would not allow any evil to pass through. He also spoke of an item in the Nether to summon an ancient being. Though powerful, the item it carried could be used to bring more people to the village. The builder decided he would focus on getting more powerful to one day retrieve this item. As the builder continued to hone his skills for his inevitable trip into the Nether, he realized his tiny home was quickly running out of space, and if he wanted more people to join his village, there would need to be a hub for the storage of goods. The builder had recently discovered a new biome, a swamp of huge mangrove trees that produce beautiful red-toned wood. He was inspired to include this in the build. A red roof would surely attract the interest of nomads passing through and may just give him enough time to convince them to stay. He constructed the storehouse, a place with storage fit for a king. Finally, he was able to expand outside the confines of his home, and the storehouse acted as a midpoint, allowing him to venture a bit further away from his hill. One day, as the builder looked over the valley, he saw a cart in the distance, pulled by a strange hog-like creature. The cart was bright and covered with flowers, and it seemed to be passing right in front of his home. Off the front stepped a woman who smiled brightly and introduced herself as a traveling merchant. She asked if it would be all right to camp out here for a while. She noticed the start of what looked to be a new town and wanted a place to call home for now. In return for land, she would give the builder unlimited access to her goods, which included hearty food. The builder couldn't say no. The woman seemed friendly, and having the food would allow him to venture even further away to discover new land and resources. Around the same time, an old friend came to visit the builder from a neighboring village. She was an experienced farmer and always dreamed of having a farm of her own. The builder wanted to help his friend and realized how important having a farm would be to building up this new land. They talked over plans for hours until they were happy with the location and the design. The builder constructed a farmhouse for his friend, and she planted wheat as far as the eye could see, enough to feed this village and the next. Now having the ability to travel a bit farther away from his home base, the builder ventured through the cherry grove just behind the storehouse. He was enamored by the beautiful trees and the pink petals falling around him. So much so that he wasn't looking where he was going and slipped down into a hole. When he gathered his wits and brushed off the dust, he found himself in an overgrown cave with a statue surrounded by water. In front of the statue appeared to be a powerful sword. He picked it up and immediately felt the power coursing through him. It was almost too much to bear, but he endured. The sword spoke to him, telling him to place the idol upon the pedestal and the power would be his. The statue burst to life and attacked the builder. The builder used the power of the sword to fend it off until eventually the statue fell still again and the idol fell off the pedestal. He felt power once more course through his veins and recognized an increase in strength from the encounter. He placed the sword down and sat in the grove, thinking about all he had just witnessed. Things were starting to fall into place. More people were planning to stay, the builder was getting more powerful through his visits to the grove, and he knew that he would soon venture into the Nether to retrieve this powerful item. There was one last step, and that was to build his dream workshop to return to when he got home. The builder had a picture in his mind and spent days collecting the materials to complete his shop. This was a place of inspiration, a place that would allow him to build anything anyone could dream of, and a place of solitude. The builder constructed his shop, pulling in large logs for extra stock, and finishing with an area out back to look over his old home and reminisce. A reminder of where he came from and who he was fighting for. He took a seat under one of the umbrellas and took a deep breath before heading inside to craft his armor and weapons for his upcoming battle. The wizard had given him all of the information he had. The builder felt prepared to finally retrieve the items from the Nether, but the wizard left him with one final suggestion. He told him that if he truly wanted to bring people to his village and work towards cleansing the undead, the builder would need to take the skulls retrieved from the Nether and bring them to a new dimension, the End, where there he must defeat the ancient Wither and the legendary Ender Dragon. Then and only then will he receive the powerful Nether Star and the invaluable dragon's wings. Though terrified, the builder knew this had to be done. He traveled through the Nether to a dark fortress where he spent days hiding out and defeating powerful skeletons until he eventually obtained 3 of their skulls. He brought them back to the wizard, who provided him with crystals to open the portal to the end dimension. The hero took them and traveled deep below the valley to a stronghold where he inserted the crystals one by one and opened up the portal to the end. He summoned the Wither as the dragon roared above him. With his bow and sword in hand, he fought and fought and fought, until eventually the final arrow soared through the air and pierced the dragon's neck, causing it to explode into hundreds of powerful orbs. He had done it. The builder had started the process of protecting his new land, and now he had the powerful items to help him do so. In the following days of his great battle, the builder was using his new wings to survey the area, and that's when he saw a smokestack sticking out of a nearby mountain. Curiosity got the better of him, and he began to dig and dig and dig, until he unearthed what appeared to be an ancient forge. He found an old rusty lever which he pulled with all of his might, and a hot stream of lava started to flow through the forge. Little copper constructs frozen around the forge started to buzz with life, and suddenly the forge was functioning again. The builder couldn't believe his eyes. The forge was producing what seemed to be an unlimited amount of iron, a resource scarce in the region. There must be a catch, he thought. But one was not apparent. Possibly a reward from a higher power for defeating the Wither and the dragon? Maybe. The little golems worked and worked, happy as could be. The builder looked out over the kingdom he was creating and smiled as he felt things were finally heading in the right direction. But little did he know, deep beneath the valley was a new threat, one waiting to be awakened.